I just knew right when I hit the ground, I slid so fast, and my immediate thought was, I hope that there's nothing coming around that corner. And immediately, that's when I saw the grill of the Buick Skylark that was coming around the corner. My immediate thought was, save yourself, get as far off as you can, and try to get away. And that's when I ended up underneath the back tire of the Buick Skylark, face down. Luckily, I was wearing a helmet, which kept me conscious. So this is where I could remember every single thing. My immediate thought was, I can't breathe. When I thought that, I had a flashback to a time when I was underwater, and I was underwater for too long, and I was feeling like I was going to drown, and I had to take a breath, and I sucked that breath in, and it was water. And that's how I felt. I felt like if I don't take a breath right now, I'm gonna suffocate. And so I could feel the weight of the car. I could hear my heart pounding, beating faster and faster. I was able to just take a little tiny breath. Just what I could fill my lungs up with, where I could feel that, okay, I'm able to breathe now, even though the weight of this car is on me. I didn't know what was going to happen next, but at that point, that's when I heard the sound of fire. The tank had ruptured, and now there's gasoline on the ground, and I'm trapped under the under the back tire of this car, and I'm on the downhill slope, and I'm thinking, now there's gasoline running down this hill, and it's on fire, and now the thought of me suffocating was a blessing. Now I'm thinking, now I'm going to burn. And that's when I heard the sound of a fire extinguisher come. Put the fire out, and I thought, thank God somebody had a fire extinguisher in their car. And at that point, a paramedic slid under the car and said, do you know who you are and where you're at? And that's when I knew, okay, there's help. Help's here. I'm gonna be okay. My life before my accident was a life of stoked. I was supporting myself. I was 19 years old. I was doing piecework construction, so I was making great money. I was able to support myself in my own house, and surfing every day. I was able to surf in the morning before I went to work. I was my own boss. I was able to surf after work. I was able to sustain myself at 19 years old, so life was really good. When that wreck happened, my life changed immediately, forever. Not one moment has ever been the same since I woke up in the hospital. After the wreck, I did struggle with drugs for quite a few years. The first year, initially, I struggled with crystal meth. That was relatively easy for me to give up. Years later, I got addicted to crack cocaine for about 5 years, and that was much harder for me to give up. My mom's reaction to me doing drugs was heart-wrenching and painful. It was one of the most humiliating parts of my life, because if you can't take into consideration the person that gave you birth and fed you and clothed you and gave you structure in your life, if you can't take some kind of common courtesy out for that person to not damage their life and not cause destruction and pain, there's something wrong. When I realized how blessed I was when I hit the beach after completing Battle of the Paddle 2013. I realized at that point that I had been bestowed a great gift of inspiration and of love and of acceptance of so many different things, that I knew at that very second, when my greatest inspiration, a person that I looked up to in my life, that I thought was a great person, told me that I inspired them. I was so overwhelmed with emotion, and I broke down and cried. I couldn't handle it. It was so overwhelming, and so I knew from that second my life would never be the same. The first time I was doing a paddleboard competition at Battle of the Paddle, the thing that kept me going was the fear of failing, the fear of failure, the fear of having a dream that I knew, that I thought in my mind was realistic, that I could obtain, and failing at that was my worst fear. Everybody in the water was encouraging me as I went along through Battle of the Paddle, from the smallest competitor, 9 years old, to the oldest competitor, over 70 years old. Every single person in that water inspired me. When I hit the beach at Battle of the Paddle after completing the race, it was like that car was being lifted off me. When that car was on me, I couldn't take a breath. I couldn't fill my lungs even a quarter of the way. When that car was off me, I could breathe again. When I hit the beach at Battle of the Paddle, completing that race, it was like such a breath of fresh air, like my life force had been just breathed right back into my lungs. It was life itself being brought back to me. In life, you're gonna have goals that people around you are gonna think that are great, awesome goals, but that maybe you're not gonna obtain, or that you do. You're gonna have two factions. Some people might think that you're crazy and that that's too much for you, and then you might have these other faction of people that are so behind you and so ready to lift you up, to hold you up, to grab that goal. Parallel to life is that you're going to find people in life that are going to believe in you, that are not ever going to give up on you, that are going to try to lift you up to help you obtain that goal, and that are going to make sure that when you fall down, that they're going to reach out their hand and they're going to be there to help you up, to dust yourself off, so you can make sure that you continue your journey to obtain that goal. I mean, the human project itself is an amazing feat that Wesley is taking on. To not only has he changed his life, but he wants to share the secrets and the courage to change everybody else's life. My role, I feel, is that I can touch people with inspiration, with the ability to overcome fear and obstacles, and to show people you don't have to be scared to be who you are to obtain your goals. The things that you lay out, the dreams that you put out in front of you, that you want, that you see, that you might even be scared to talk about because you think that people might laugh at you, that it's such a big dream, it's such a great thing that you're dreaming, that that's obtainable for somebody to reach out and to grab it with both hands and to own it. The words of encouragement that I would give somebody that's on the brink of giving up would be to believe in yourself, to believe everything that you think you have inside your head, that you think that you can obtain, you can obtain. The only thing you have to do is just believe in yourself, love yourself. Self-realization, self-preservation, self-love. There's nothing better than to love yourself and to look in the mirror and to know that you're worthy of love. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of giving love. You're worthy of everything that you thought that you could do and attain, that you are worth every bit of that. I would tell you not to give up, to just know that you have the power inside you to obtain everything you can. It's just a matter of believing in yourself and just loving yourself. I am proof that it is all okay. I am human, and this is my story.